I'm Alan, 28 years old and single. You could say I've been lonely for most of my life. But recently things have changed. There's a man who stands on the abandoned roof across from my window every night watching the sky. No one else can see him, and I think I just made him notice me. I don't really know how to phrase it. This thing has been unsettling me, terrifying me for a while now, and I can't keep it bottled up anymore. I live alone in an apartment in, well, let's just say an older part of town, a bit run down maybe. I won't say exactly where because of the rules here, and frankly because I'm already scared enough. My apartment is on the third floor. My balcony and my bedroom window look out over the street and directly at an old abandoned house on the other side. It's been sealed up for years. Nobody goes in, nobody comes out. The windows are broken, the main door is padlocked shut, and the whole place just radiates decay. This whole thing started about maybe 3 or 4 months ago. Like usual, I was staying up a bit late on the balcony, maybe having a smoke or a cup of tea before heading to bed. One night I noticed a silhouette standing on the roof of that abandoned house. At first I didn't process it, couldn't quite make it out. It was pretty dark, but the streetlights cast enough illumination over the area. I focused a little harder. No, that was definitely a person, a man standing there. I was immediately confused. This house is locked up tight. No one ever goes near it. Who would be climbing onto its roof and how? My first thought was maybe it was just some local kids messing around. But this man was standing perfectly still, not moving at all. And stranger still, he was looking up at the sky. His head was tilted back as if he were stargazing or I honestly don't know what he was doing. I watched him for about 5 minutes. He didn't budge, stood there like a statue gazing upwards. He looked completely ordinary, by the way. Wearing normal clothes, pants and a shirt or t-shirt, hard to tell exactly from the distance and in the dim light. His build was average, not particularly large or thin. But what was strange and unsettling, apart from his presence there, was that I couldn't see his face at all. His head was tilted back at such an angle that no matter how I tried, I could only maybe make out his chin and the back of his hair. I felt a little uneasy, went inside, locked the balcony door, and went to sleep. The next day, I'd mostly forgotten about it, until that night. Around the same time, I stepped out onto the balcony, and there he was, standing in the exact same spot, in the exact same pose, looking up at the sky. This time, I felt a genuine sense of dread. Who was this? What was he doing every night on the roof of a locked abandoned house? And why did he just keep staring at the sky like that? I didn't sleep well that night. My mind kept racing. Maybe a burglar scouting the area, but there's nothing to steal in that ruin. Maybe someone mentally unwell. Maybe someone I didn't know. The next morning on my way to work, I made a point of looking closely at the abandoned house. No sign of anyone. The door was still padlocked. The windows were still broken. No indication that anyone had been coming or going. This became a pattern. Every single night, the same man, the same spot on the roof, the same posture looking up at the sky. He never missed a night. He became a part of my nightly routine, a deeply unsettling part. Sometimes I'd go out onto the balcony specifically to see if he was there. Other times I'd avoid the balcony altogether, staying in my room, terrified to even glance out the window and find him standing there. I started to feel real anxiety. This wasn't normal. I began asking around the neighborhood subtly. I went down to talk to Mr. Henderson, the superintendent of my building, an older guy who's lived in the area forever. Hey, Mr. Henderson, can I ask you something? Sure thing, what's up? That abandoned house across the street, does anyone ever go up on its roof at night? Mr. Henderson looked at me like I had two heads. The roof, what roof? That place is a wreck, son. Been boarded up for more than 20 years. Nobody can get up on that roof anyway. The inside staircase collapsed years ago. Are you sure, Mr. Henderson? Because I thought I trailed off. What was I going to say? That I see a guy standing there looking at the sky every night. He'd think I was crazy. Positive. I've been here long before you moved in. Nobody goes near that house. I just said, okay, thanked him, and went back upstairs feeling like something was seriously wrong. Either Mr. Henderson wasn't paying attention or I was hallucinating. I went to the small convenience store down the block. Asked the guy behind the counter the same question but indirectly. What's the story with that boarded up house anyway? Looks kind of creepy. Oh, that was old Mr. Abernathy's place. Died him and his wife in an accident years back. Kids sold it to someone who just let it sit, then they moved away. Place is probably haunted. He said that last part with a little smirk. Haunted. Haunted by what? Ghost spirits. You know local talk. Point is, nobody goes near it after dark. Right. Have you ever seen anyone strange hanging around it? Maybe lurking nearby, or on the roof maybe? The shopkeeper laughed. The roof? Who'd be able to get up there? Nah, nobody goes near it. You seen something? I felt like if I told him, he'd either laugh at me or get spooked. I just said, no, just asking. It looks weird, and I left. I sat with myself thinking, nobody sees him but me. How is that possible? Am I imagining it? But I see him so clearly every night, standing right there, a physical presence. So why doesn't anyone else see him? Does he only appear to me? Why? These questions started eating away at me. I wasn't sleeping properly anymore. I was constantly anxious and tense. Every time evening approached, my heart would start beating faster. I'd approach the window hesitantly, look out cautiously, and find him, standing in his spot, looking at the school. I started observing him more intently, trying to notice any detail. His clothes were almost always the same. His posture never changed. He never moved at all, like a mannequin placed up there. Sometimes I'd stare at him for hours waiting for any movement, any change. Nothing, absolutely nothing. But the feeling of anxiety and suspicion grew stronger inside me. There was something fundamentally wrong about this man, about his stance, and about the fact that nobody else seemed to see him. Another month passed like this. I was nearing a nervous breakdown. I felt like I was officially losing my mind. I considered seeing a therapist, but I was scared they'd lock me up or put me on medication that would numb me. More importantly, I had this gut feeling that this was real, not delusions. Something was happening and I was the only one witnessing it. I started considering wild explanations. Was he a ghost? Some kind of spirit? But if so, why just stand there looking at the sky? The ghosts and spirits you hear about usually try to scare people, harm them, make noises. This figure was completely silent, seemingly peaceful. But his very existence had become terrifying to me. Terrifying because of the mystery surrounding him and because of the feeling that I was the only person on earth who could see him. That sense of isolation was crushing. Like there was a secret between me and this entity, a secret nobody else in the world knew. Did he know I was watching? No, impossible. He was always looking up. He never once looked towards me or anywhere else. His entire focus was on the skies. Last night, the moon was incredibly bright. A full moon lighting up the street almost like daylight. I went out onto the balcony tense as usual, and I looked towards the abandoned house. There he was, standing in his spot. The moonlight revealed him more clearly than ever before. I could see more details in his clothes. Dark jeans and a plain white t-shirt. His hair seemed dark, maybe a bit thick, but his face, still couldn't see it. Head tilted sharply upwards. In that moment, I don't know what came over me. Maybe it was desperation, maybe temporary insanity, maybe just the overwhelming need to break the stalemate and find out the truth. I found myself looking around the balcony. There were a few loose bricks and stones piled in a corner, left over from some old building repairs nobody ever cleared away. The demon of curiosity, or maybe madness, whispered to me, if I threw something near him, would he look? Would he move? Would I finally know if he was real and not just a figment of my stressed out mind? But then if he was real and nobody else could see him, that was an even bigger problem. But I wasn't thinking logically anymore. I just wanted any reaction, any proof. I bent down, picked up a smallish stone about the size of my fist. My heart was pounding like a drum against my ribs. My hand was shaking. I looked at him again, still standing there looking at the sky, lost in his celestial contemplation. I took a deep breath, raised my arm, and threw the stone. I wasn't trying to hit him, of course. I aimed it so it would land on the roof beside him, just to make a sound, hoping he'd turn. I watched the stone arc through the moonlit air like it was moving in slow motion. It landed with a soft thud on the rooftop of the abandoned house, maybe a yard or two away from where he stood. In that instant, everything stopped. The ambient sounds of the street faded from my ears. The breath caught in my chest, my entire focus locked onto him. For the first time in months, he moved, but he didn't move the way I expected. He didn't quickly lower his head to investigate the source of the sound. No, his head lowered with agonizing slowness, a terrifying, unnatural slowness, like the neck of a machine turning on rusty gears. Degree by degree, centimeter by centimeter, his head descended and began to turn towards me, towards my balcony. My heart felt like it was going to stop. I wanted to scream and run and hide, but my body was frozen in place. I couldn't move, couldn't tear my eyes away from him. His head completed its turn until it was facing me directly. And for the first time in months, I saw his face, or what should have been his face. In the shadows beneath his previously raised head, there weren't distinct features, but there was something else, something that made my blood run cold and my knees buckle. His eyes were glowing, not just reflecting the moonlight. No, they were emitting a strong white light, like two small, intense flashlights aimed directly at me. A cold, terrifying light devoid of any life or expression. Just pure white light pouring out from where his eyes should be. The moment my gaze met his, or met the light emanating from his eyes, I felt an electric shock surge through my entire body. Raw, primal terror unlike anything I had ever known. A feeling that this entity wasn't just strange or mysterious, it was dangerous, extremely dangerous. I don't know how my legs carried me. I found myself scrambling back into the apartment like a madman, slamming the balcony door shut, rattling down the blinds, pulling the curtains closed. I ran to the front door, checked that it was securely locked. I went around to every window in the apartment, shutting them, closing all the curtains. I was breathing heavily, my heartbeat echoing in my ears. Sweat drenched me, and I was trembling like a leaf. I ended up sitting in the middle of the dark living room, hugging my knees to my chest, shaking uncontrollably. My mind couldn't process what I had seen. Those glowing eyes. That wasn't human. That wasn't natural. That was something else entirely. Something I had been watching for months, thinking it was unaware. Or I hoped it was unaware. After some time, I don't know how long, and maybe an hour or more, with fear completely paralyzing me, I started to calm down just a little. But the terror didn't leave. I decided I had to look again. I had to know if he was still there or if he'd left. Maybe what I saw was a hallucination brought on by extreme fear and stress. I crept towards my bedroom window with extreme caution. I opened a tiny sliver of the curtain, just enough to see out without being seen. My heart started hammering again. I looked toward the roof of the abandoned house. Nobody. The roof was empty. The spot where he always stood showed no trace of him. I felt a momentary wave of relief, immediately followed by a much larger wave of dread. Where did he go? Did he vanish? Did he come down? But how could he come down when the house was sealed? And I scanned the area around the abandoned house, and suddenly I caught movement. Not on the roof of the abandoned house. No, on the roof of the building next door to mine. My neighbor's building in the same row as my apartment block. Much, much closer. My stomach dropped. It was him. The same man, the same clothes, standing with the same stillness. But this time, he wasn't looking at the sky. He was looking directly at me, standing on my neighbor's roof, which is practically adjacent to my building, his face turned directly towards my apartment window. And his eyes, they were still glowing with that same cold, terrifying white light. As if he knew exactly where I was peering from behind the curtain. As if he was saying, I saw you. And I know you see me. And I know where you are. I yanked the curtain shut instantly and stumbled backward, feeling nauseous. The terror I felt in that moment was exponentially worse than the initial fear. Before he was a distant, mysterious entity. Now he was a terrifying entity, close by, aware of my existence and aware of my location. It's my fault. I'm the one who drew his attention. With my stupid, impulsive action throwing that stone, I made him look at me, made him discover me. He was just standing there minding his own business, looking at the sky when nobody noticed him but me, and like an idiot, I was watching him. Now he's the one watching back. But his gaze says it's not just watching. I've been holed up in my apartment for 2 days now. I don't open windows or the balcony door. All the curtains are drawn. I'm afraid to even get close to any opening to the outside world. I ordered food delivery and opened the door terrified, peering frantically down the hallway. I can't sleep. Every time I close my eyes, I see that white light pouring from his eyes staring at me. I can feel him. I feel like he's still out there, standing on the neighbor's roof, waiting for me to make a mistake and open a curtain, waiting for me to show myself. I feel his gaze penetrating the walls. I don't know what to do. Call the police? Tell them what? There's a guy with glowing eyes standing on my neighbor's roof staring at me. They'll think I'm on drugs or certifiably insane. Who can I tell? Who would believe me? I wrote all this down here because I feel like I'll go crazy if I keep it inside. Maybe someone here has gone through something similar. Maybe someone knows what this could be. Any explanation, any advice. I'm so scared. Scared of what comes next. Scared that he won't just keep standing there looking. I feel like this was just the beginning, and that what I did opened a door I'm not remotely prepared to deal with. I think I hear faint footsteps on the stairs outside my apartment door right now. No, I must be imagining it. There's nothing there. Right, I have to go now. I need to turn off the lights and stay quiet. Please, God, help me. That's my story. If you like it, please like and subscribe to follow more stories.
Thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, drop a comment below. And please like, share and subscribe my channel.